Good day, friends. Miloa here. Today's adventure starts with Gringolas and Ostgalad. Chapter 10, The Exchange. Let's go. The Maladrim sent a number of scouts ahead to spy the lay of the land in front of the fortress of Dol Guldur. We will want to know what they have learned and have them return here before we bring Mazak the rest of the way to the gates of the fortress. Seek out the scouts Lamwan Suthul and Leglang in the wildlands of Gothbergs, east of here and before the walls of Dol Guldur. Tell them to return and that the final leg of the Hidden Guards mission will be undertaken. With the information of these scouts, we will be best prepared to effect the exchange of Mazak and for the dwarf prisoners. Okay, they're all here in Gathbers. I've not found that stable yet, so I will have to ride up there. Okay, here's Suthul.
The Ashen Slades are blasted and dead, and the stench of evil is everywhere.
You have met me on my way back from the southern marshes among the Ashen Slades. The land there is blasted and dead, and the stench of evil is everywhere. It appears that Gorathul has trained evil men in the arts he learned from his own master. They are seeking to bind fell spirits to their service in the far reaches of the Ashen Slades. I will return to Ostgalad with my report of that place.
I will return to Ostgalath at once.
There has not been a great deal of activity beyond the walls of Dol Guldur or Miloa. By now they are surely aware of the Golden Host. Do they suspect any of its real purpose, I wonder? It is a great offensive, true, but do they suspect that we do not seek victory, that we are drawing their eyes to a point of our choosing rather than theirs? I will return to Ostgalad at once. It is to be hoped that we have not alarmed the enemy overmuch, and we will catch them unaware in all respects.
It seems likely that Garthbors will serve as the staging area for the armies of Dol Guldur.
From my exploration, it seems likely that Gathbros will serve as the staging area for the armies of Dol Guldur when they move to attack Lothlorien. There are a number of camps here, but the orcs are fortunately not yet massing here in great numbers. I'll return to Osgiliath and share what I have learned. I want to just get the stable here.
How can I be of service?
Okay, you can just take this horse to there, but I'm just going to use a coin.
Your friend, the dwarf Broin? He cannot be found.
Akador gave me a message for you, Miloa. Your friend, the dwarf Broin, he cannot be found. He has been missing ever since you left to recall the scouts. Akador does not want to wait for him. He says that he wants to be rid of Mazok at once and have the errand completed. Speak with me when you are ready, and I will bring you to the Hidden Guard so you can discuss the matter with them.
Will you not speak with Akador?
I know that Broin will want to be a part of this final stage of the mission, and Akador must not let his anger blind him to the dangers of haste.
Tensions run high among the remaining elves of the Hidden Guard. One of their number slain, the other dying from a deadly poison. And now the dwarf Broin has disappeared on the eve of the journey's end.
What is the meaning of this, Miloa? While you were recalling the scouts on the perimeter of Dol Guldur, the dwarf Broin vanished from Osgiliath. He told no one where he was going, and right on the eve of the exchange of Mazok for his kin. You had spoken for him, Miloa. You failed to speak of his cowardice. Do all dwarves abandon their companions when the road turns treacherous? The dwarf is not coming back. Gutcheron. We do not know that, Akador. But it is not difficult to see. We came here for him, but only our friends have died or are dying. Akador. No, Gutcheron, I will not be silent. Mazok. Why should he hold his tongue? He speaks words of truth. My kind have nothing but hatred for the dwarves. But for the elves, there was something else. There was fear. My father spoke of elves proud and terrible, as foes to be feared. Where are they now? Ziggurat, they stand before you. Your words are empty, prisoner. Mazok, no. It was the whim of dwarves that brought you here, and they have abandoned you. Gutcheron, that is not so, Mazok. Quell your speech, or it will be quelled for you. Akador, but he is not wrong, Gutcheron. Where is Broin? Broin, he is here. Akador, what is this? There is little time to explain, Miloa, so I must be quick. After you gave the ladris to Mazok, and the more I dwelled upon it, the more I came to regret that necessity, if only another dose could be made. I spoke with the elf Barvassian atop the great tower here in Oskalad, and she said that more unmarked venom sacs of the Swawithal might be found with time, but that the Sergloss flower is so rare that finding another one would be impossible. The conditions for such a flower to grow are so specific that only in the growing season could be slowed might such a flower still be found. I walked through the forest for many hours, heading north, and passed into lands beyond the reach of the Golden Host. I walked and walked and walked, and just as I was about to turn back in defeat, I beheld a grave mound among the tangled undergrowth. A stream flowed by its side, and now and then droplets of water splashed atop the mound, where, bursting forth, grew a single flower, still in season. With this second Seragloss flower, and another unmarked venom sac, another dose of the ladris might be made. And here it is. You need to drink this, Isuriel. There. Look! Already Isuriel's strength returns. The ladris is working to fight the Gwigwale poison. I do not know what to say. While I railed at unjust fate, the dwarf combed the forest for many miles to find a way to save Isuriel. It should have been me, Miloa. I cannot believe I was beginning to listen to the words of Mazok. Now there are no delays. We will go to the gates and exchange Mazok for the prisoners, and be done with him at last. Over here, Miloa. I'm sorry, Miloa. Give me just a moment. Broin leans on his walking stick and tries to catch his breath. I walked many miles to the north in search of the Seragloss flower, and though I have my father's hardiness, it was still a most taxing journey. That it ended in success, and that Isuriel will recover from the Gwigwale poison was enough to give me further strength, but one more moment, friend. I will have my breath back in a moment. Akador. I was most wrong about the dwarf Broin, Miloa. I have come to regret my words about him, and perhaps about all dwarfs. To make such a seemingly futile journey in search of the one thing that might save someone he barely knows, someone not even of his own race, he showed a fortitude I had thought only elves could possess, and he did it with much less complaining than I have done. But look at him. His journey north into the far reaches of Mirkwood has taken a toll even on his stout form. He needs to rest. The guards at the gate ahead will see his exhaustion and weakness, and we cannot afford that. Will you tell him to remain here in such a way as to spare his feelings? He has proven himself to me and to the others for the rest of time. He has no need to accompany us the rest of the way. He helped Isuriel, and now I wish to help him save his cousin and the rest of the dwarves. I do not want the guards of the gate to think we are weak, Miloa. They would not think so if they knew the distance I travelled in such a short time. Broin laughs. I wonder if that will be the main verse of the glorious tale of Broin the Mighty, after all. It did not seem so glorious when I was hurrying through the dark, tripping over stones and treacherous roots, searching for a flower that might not even exist in the world any longer. Maybe my part in all this is over, Miloa. I do not want to hurt the negotiations for Bori. I'll remain here and guard the rear. I trust that Akador and the others will be able to fulfill this mission. Thank you, Miloa. It feels good to have a reason beyond revenge for this errand of ours. I still burn with hatred for the orcs, but now too I desire to rescue the dwarves, whereas before it was only a vague purpose. We will do this now, for Broin. Do not do this, Colfungus. Set me free. I will trouble none of your kind. You are passing that gate, Mazok, willingly or unwillingly. I wonder at his reluctance to join his friends. I do not... I think Mazak may find he has few friends beyond those walls. And I think he knows it. It is time to go. What is this? Who dares approach this fortress? Only those who with the courage to do so and offer to make. An offer? What are the terms of this offer? They are not for your ears, gatekeeper. All dealings come through me. Sigilith, it is fine. We come bearing the orc Mazak, trespasser upon the kingdom of the dwarves. We seek to trade his life for the lives of the dwarves imprisoned within Dol Guldur. I cannot speak to this. Wait here. You will answer to these trolls if you try anything suspicious. Well, here we are, Miloa. Now we will see if this errand was not as foolhardy as first it seemed. I will have Kumaith at the ready, in case we find our first belief justified. The gatekeeper returns. This way, you lot. I should have known this rabble was yours, Miloa. Gorathel. Your offer does not interest me, Miloa. What use do I, Gorathel, have for a useless orc such as Mazak? Lord of caves? He is lord of nothing. The dwarfs crawl all over his caves like worms on mouldy bread. Bolg would be ashamed of his son, and Azog would slay him for dishonoring his family line. But it would humor me to hold Mazak in the dungeons of this fortress until the world's ending, so he may have time to think about how he failed his master. I will accept your offer. These 3 dwarfs will go free, and I will accept custody of the orc called Mazak. None of those dwarfs are Bori, Miloa. I thought not. They have been cruelly mistreated and seem close to death. Where is Bori? These terms are not acceptable, Gorathel. Where is the dwarf Bori? The dwarf called Bori is not part of this deal. I have offered you the lives of these 3. I am receiving 1 prisoner and you are receiving 3. You think this to be unfair? Consult with your associate, Miloa, if you must. I do not like this, Miloa. We must make Gorathel turn Bori over to us, in addition to these 3 dwarfs, or we will have failed. What can we do? I cannot move. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps the deal was rather uneven. You must show mercy. These 2 for Mazak, then. Very well, if you are certain. Come here, orc. My powers are vast, but I must confess something to you. I do not possess the authority to treat with you. I am not the master of this fortress. I am merely a guest. No, these are the masters, and I did not consult them before making this deal. Therefore, I must be rescinded. Archers! Can your sorcery match a dwarf's might? Gorthel's spell is broken. I can move again. I defile you and your foul master. Akador, no! Suddenly hear the voice from
Fly!
Carl.
You cannot stand against this foe.
Alright, I'm running away, Galadriel. Lord Celeborn believed some of the Nazgul had come to Dol Guldur, but did not know for certain which of the 9 had done so. Now we do, though it is of little comfort to us. The lieutenant of Dol Guldur commands the others. He is second only to the Witch King, he who hailed from Angmar in the north. The lieutenant of the tower rules the fortress. It is he who struck down Akador. The Gloom of Nirn was a wild man of that land. It is peopled now only by slaves of Mordor. He wields a war hammer in battle. I know nothing of the Black Blade, save that he hailed once from Lebanon. He is fully a thrall now, as are all the Nazgul, though it was not always so. The Golden Host cannot think to stand against these 3. It is hopeless. Sigilith ignores you, her face a mask of anger and grief. You decide to leave her be. It is over, Miloa. So many have died, and still Boreal languishes within the dungeons of Dol Guldur. How can we hope to fight such evil? It is no use, Miloa. We have failed. Let us go now inside Osgiliath, though there be little we can do now.
The hidden guard has failed.
Akador is slain, Mazak is taken, and Bori remains in captivity. Sigilith is mourning with the Suriel inside Gaidogar. She has asked not to be disturbed.
This show is possible because of your support and encouragement. Become a patron and get access to more amazing content and see your name here in the credits. Thanks for watching.